Gets to the edge of the area and gets a shot away, but it is dragged a good 3 or 4 yards wide. But the lovely turn, midway point of the half, just to get away from his man, and a quick feet and a snapshot that was wide. Goal kick Denmark, 0-0.
You know, he dropped really deep into that pocket, and because he went so deep, Anderson has been following everywhere, just couldn't go in there, and it was Højbjerg's decision to not go with him, and he turned, and the execution at the end was a little bit poor, the strike, but the touch and the turn was lovely.
Danish supporters testing the strength of the concrete around us. They're all bouncing in unison in that north stand. They've got the whole bottom tier of the north stand to our right, the Danish fans, and the corner up in the top tier. But they are vastly outnumbered, as you might expect, by the home support. Here's Gundogan. Threads the ball up to the edge of the area, almost found its way through to Sane, who'd come in field from the inside right channel, but it evaded his grasp and went straight through to Kasper Schmeichel.
The idea is right, what he did there, Gundogan, by turning and trying to thread the ball to Leroy Sane, but just got a little bit too much on the pass, because that's the only way he would have got it in there. I mean, Vestergaard and Anderson were so tight that he would have had to fire it in there, and he just got the execution a little bit wrong.
I think it's fair to say that Gundogan's benefited more than anybody else from the reintroduction of Toni Kroos into the German starting lineup, playing in this attacking role that's almost similar to the role that he had at Manchester City. Højlund, who hasn't touched the ball yet, can't get the ball off Schlotterbeck at the back, and then Rudiger clears down the far touchline, but Delaney has won a free kick. He was caught by Gundogan. The free kick's out on the left-hand side, a couple of yards in from the touchline, midway point of the half, 0-0.
Yeah, a little bit clumsy there from Gundogan, to be fair, body on body with Thomas Delaney, and he done well to get his body in before Gundogan, and it's a foul. But this might be an avenue. I mean, the Germany defence have been really high from this free kick. I mean, they're being brave. They're pretty much practically on the edge of the D. There's a lot of space in that penalty area.
And there's 4 Danish players who are sort of deliberately standing offside at the moment before the ball is struck. Eriksson is standing over it. He's going to clip it infield. In it comes, whipped in by Eriksson. Højlund almost got a touch on it with his head, but it comes out to Gundogan. And Sane is now in a race with Barr. And Sane will get there first, inside the Danish half. Tries to turn inside Barr, who's now trying to hold him up. Now Sane gets up to the edge of the D. Ball down, and it's a free kick. He was fouled by Andreas Christensen, who protests his innocence to referee Michael Oliver, but Germany have a free kick 25 yards out from goal, dead centre, 0-0.
That is Leroy Sane at his best, getting the ball, running away from Alexander Barr, who just couldn't live with him pace-wise. And the moment he dropped his shoulder and came inside, Christensen had no choice but to drag him down, because Sane's next touch would have been a shot of goal. Good defending, but that's Sane. That's what you want to see from him. That electric pace. When he's like that, no one can mark him.
So Toni Kroos will be on free kick duty as always, particularly with these sort of efforts. I don't think we've seen a free kick goal yet at these championships. And he's going to take this for Germany. I thought Christian Eriksen was going to be the draft excluder for the moment there for Denmark, behind the 4-man wall they've got. There's a 4-man German wall just in front of and to the side of the Danish wall. So Kasper Schmeichel's got very little to look at here as he bounces up and down his goal line. Kroos takes the free kick and it hits the Danish wall and goes out of play for a throw-in on this near side, 0-0.
That is a big old wall, though, isn't it? Let's be honest. Christensen, Vestergaard, Anderson, they're all big old boys. I mean, all of them must be, what, 6'2 plus?
Yeah. And it was Vestergaard that got his big forehead to it and got it away. Hatchet goes for a throw. And it's sent back to Nico Schlotterbeck. Ian Danter and Darren Bent with you on TalkSport. Adrian's here as well. And don't forget, Adrian's off to Gelsenkirchen tomorrow to join up with Jim Proudfoot, Stuart Pearce, and Faker Ruthers, our England correspondent. England, Slovakia. Got coverage across the day, including the game day breakfast with Natalie Sawyer and Tony Cascarino. Sunday edition with Henry Winter and Sean Custis. You've got the warm-up with Barry Glendenning. Gabby Agbonahor is going to be part of the afternoon build-up. And then we are live from Gelsenkirchen from 4 p.m. with the team news, full build-up, and then full live commentary of England, Slovakia. Germany 0, Denmark 0. We played nearly 17 minutes on TalkSport at the BayWa Stadion in Dortmund. Kimmich out to the right-hand side and Sane. Darren Bent, what you spotted?
I'm just looking at Rasmus Højlund. He's not touched the ball yet, and we're 17 minutes in, and he's going to get moments like this where he's going to have to be patient. He's going to have to stay positive, because I expect Germany to have loads of the ball, which they're doing. They're keeping possession. But when Denmark want it back, and they've done it quite well, winning the ball back, they need an outlet, they need a target, and he's got to make sure that first pass is to him.
Havertz darts down the right-hand side of the Danish box and gets possession of the ball. Faced up by Vestergaard. Gives it back to Kimmich. First time cross. Just evades two German players flying into the near post. Sane and Gundogan comes out to Raum on this near side. Now Kroos with a diagonal ball. Beautiful ball. Out to Kimmich in space on the right. Sends it down the right-hand side of the box for Havertz. Four waiting for a cross. Kimmich again on the right-hand corner of the box. Doesn't cross this time. Sends it back via Andrik to Rudiger. Now Rudiger will box it via a deflection. Makes it a comfortable catch for Kasper Schmeichel. 18 minutes gone on TalkSport. Germany 0, Denmark 0.
They're not really dealing with that Germany right-hand side very well. I mean, the left side, as I said, Anderson's coming across to help Bar, and Jamal Musiala's not really getting much joy out here. The other side as well, you've got Kai Havertz who's running out there, and Christensen and Amelia, they're not really got that connection yet. So every single time Joshua Kimmich gets it, he rolls it behind one of them, and Kai Havertz is in. So that's something they're going to have to look at.
Hoyland goes up for a header. He might get a touch here, and indeed he does off his chest, but he can't get it through to Skov Olsen. It's picked up by Højbjerg. Eriksson tries to feed it into Hoyland's path at the edge of the area. Didn't get the right connection on the pass, Eriksson. Germany clear, and Anderson and Vestergaard will exchange passes and work it back to Schmeichel.
That's what he tried to do there, Christian Eriksen. And if it had come off, it had been the right pass. Just kind of lend it in there, because Rasmus Højlund's made a really good run between the two centre-halves. And if he gets in there, then he's in on goal. His next touch is probably a shot. But he just got the execution, Christian Eriksen, a little bit wrong.
It's 0-0. Nico Schlotterbeck thought he'd put Germany ahead very early on with a header from a corner, but Michael Oliver in charge said there was a foul in the area. Was that a lightning strike I just saw?
I hope not.
Above my head. I just heard a rumble. Here's Rasmus Højlund, tucking it infield to Christian Eriksen. Places it out to the left-hand corner of the box. Mæhle will lay it back to Eriksen with his back to goal, but he's got Andrik closing down the space. So Eriksen gives it back to Mæhle. Now Højbjerg goes back still further to Christensen. Now into the centre circle for Vestergaard. Vestergaard out to the left-hand side. Eriksen will work it back to Yannick Vestergaard, who of course won promotion back to the Premier League with Leicester, was left out of the Danish squad that went to Qatar in the World Cup 2 years ago. Has it again on halfway for the Danes. Back it goes to Vestergaard from Christensen. Højbjerg takes over on the halfway line, being very patient here, Denmark. Now it's swung out to Alexander Bar. We've not seen him been able to use his pace down this right flank so far, Darren Bent.
No, they haven't.
Alexander Bar.
Well, to be fair, they've been defending the whole time, haven't they, Denmark? And this is quite nice what they're doing. Just get the touch of possession. We're not necessarily looking to hurt Germany at the minute, but just keep possession, get one or two passes in, just try and maybe disrupt a little bit.
Now Anderson hits a long raking ball downfield. Eriksson picks it up beautifully, the edge of the area. Shot deflected wide by Rudiger. He brought that down quite deliciously.
Hot box, I'm just about to blaze. Let's go right now. Let's blaze.
But Antonio Rudiger got in the way and deflected it behind the Denmark's first corner. 0-0.
I just picked up an ounce of 21% indica for $70. I'm in a good mood. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, buddy.
So Eriksson's come across to this near side, the right, to take the corner. Skov Olsen is there for a short corner option. Plenty of Danish players at the far post. He's played short to Skov Olsen at the right-hand corner of the box. Chips in the cross, headed away by Kimmich. Musiala tries to hold on to it. He's pushed in the back by Højbjerg, right in front of the referee. And Germany have a free kick. And Højbjerg just steps toward Musiala to remonstrate with him. And Michael Oliver steps in and wags the finger and sends him away. 0-0.
I mean, Højbjerg pushing him in the back of his head. I mean, it's obviously going to be a foul from Højbjerg. But Jamal Musiala putting his body on the line as well. And it's a good foul because they're hemmed in their own half. Gets the foul. Just gives everyone a breather in the German team just to get him up the pitch.
Hot box, check it out.
Havertz takes the ball on his chest, but it's a heavy touch. Allows Denmark to hook it clear. Højlund is caught in the centre circle by Schlotterbeck. And that's a free kick to Denmark at 0-0. We've played nearly a quarter of the game. Nearly 22 minutes played in Dortmund. Earlier today, Switzerland 2, Italy 0. Quite sensational goal from Vargas at the start of the second half. Italy hit the post a couple of times during the game, but Switzerland's team ethic got them through against the team of individuals. Here's Thomas Delaney for Denmark. Out to Mæhle on the left-hand side. Eriksson works it back in field to Højbjerg. Eriksson spots the run into the area of Alexander Bar, tries to lift it into him, but Germany get
Grad.
it half clear. It's in the middle of their own half.
I just
Headed up in the air by
got some stuff
Højbjerg.
here.
Tries to win a second ball ahead of Musiala. Puts it further into the sky.
This was
Højbjerg
good.
tries
This
to win
was
a header against
70
Slotterbeck.
$70.
It's a little bit scrappy at the moment. And then Anderson cushions a header down to Skov Olsen, who's
I'm
got to
just
run back
dipping
into
into
his
it
own
right
half and then
now.
elects to go all the way back with a pass to his keeper, Kasper
I'll
Schmeichel.
show you, Grad. I'll show you because you just got here.
You can still hear, I'm sure, the rumbles of thunder around us here in the Ruhr Valley. Some fairly threatening-looking dark clouds above us, but no rain as yet. And the calm before the storm in terms of the match as well. Midway through the first half, 0-0 between Germany and Denmark.
Denmark have just settled down these last 5 minutes. I think at first, the way Germany were playing on the front foot really causing them problems, especially down this left-hand side. They just tweaked one or two things, got
Yeah,
more
it
men
was
over
really
there.
cheap.
And so far,
I just
Musiala
picked
probably
up-
not touched the ball in the last 5
I
minutes.
just picked up 28 grams for
And now
$70,
Christensen can bring
so
the
I'm
ball
pretty
over the
happy.
halfway line. Feed it into Rasmus Højlund, centre of the German half. Spins a couple of times, keeps the ball away from Rudiger. Delaney
Cheers, dudes.
slots
Thanks
it
for
out
coming
to
in.
Mæhle on the left-hand side. Maybe a chance for a cross. Plays it infield to Højlund. Left-hand corner of the box. Runs into trouble. Eriksson takes over in the same area. Tries to put it into the near post. Mæhle drives it goalwards, and it's actually wide of the side netting. Wasn't on target. Goal kick to Germany, but that's better from Denmark.
One more thing, you guys. One more thing. If you want to be unmodded, just let me know and I'll unmod you. I'm not saying you do, but other people were asking about it. So if it's creating a problem for you, just let me know.
Ice cold to pick the right option, and there he went for personal glory rather than going across the box. Because if he does it, Denmark go one up.
Yeah,
So
cheers,
it's
guys.
0-0,
Cheers.
24
Thanks for
minutes
coming
gone.
in. Appreciate
Here
you
in
guys.
Dortmund, the thunder continues to rumble overhead. Rudiger in the right back position, tight to that far touch line, gets the ball clear right-footed under minimal pressure from Højlund, and then there's a bit of a clash of heads between Havertz and Christensen, who both go down onto their haunches, having both gone up for a header on the halfway line, and Michael Oliver summons on the physios to treat both of them. 0-0. What have you made of this opening quarter then, Darren Ben?
Well, I thought Germany started off really, really well, causing them problems. And I guess if that goal stood Schlotterbeck, then I think they probably might have got a second and they would have been comfortable in this game. But the fact that they haven't really tested Kasper Schmeichel too much. There was one from Havertz, which I think he should have done better with. He should have held it. You've got Joshua Kimmich who smashes one from distance.
Whoa.
But I think
Hang
we would
on,
say
hang
that
on, hang
usually
on.
Kasper would be disappointed to let that in.
Okay. You what? 28 grams for as low as $24?
We said there, Meslier got himself into a great position, and he goes for personal glory by smashing it near post. Go across the goal, anything can happen. Someone taps it in, it takes a deflection and goes in the net. Just that little
Wow. What's the percentage? What's the percentage?
So it's 0-0 here. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction and get your favourites delivered now. More action tomorrow, notably England against.
I'm gonna turn it back up. I just want you to be able to hear me when I ask a couple questions.
Stay on this frequency, and you get the very best build-up from both here and back home in the UK. And we'll be inside the stadium in Gelsenkirchen from 4. Straight after that, you can react to the English results. However they get on against Slovakia with Jamie and Jason on the game day phone-in. Meantime, on TalkSport 2, myself and Darren will.
Next week though, next week they're gonna be selling 28 grams for about 50, so I can save another $20 next week on Wednesday.
Back to 11 against 11. And a chance for Leroy Sané to attack down the right-hand side for Germany at 0-0.
Jeez, that's incredible. Is that where's that from? Is that in state or is that out of state coming from somewhere else?
Rudiger just to his right, rolls his foot on the ball, looks for an option. He's hit a couple of diagonal balls in this first half, but he gives it to Schlotterbeck.
Awesome. That is awesome. That's awesome, dude. That's everything else gets more expensive, but this doesn't. I don't get it. Yeah, no, I know where you're at. I didn't want to say it in chat, Hotbox.
He's not there, but in slides Vestergaard with a perfectly timed challenge, and Denmark win it back, and it's cleared up for Højlund, but Schlotterbeck steps in front of him, tries to ride a couple of challenges.
Hey, I try, man. I try. You'll have to forgive me if I do like something stupid here and there. It's not like I'm not trying to cause any problems. I probably just didn't know, right? So if I come off as like slow or something like that, I'm trying to think of the best way to get my point across without fucking up anyone's shit, like literally. So either way. Did I show you my grinder, Hotbox? This is my new grinder. This is my new grinder. It's metal.
Suspended for a couple of yellow cards in the group stage.
It was $1.99.
It's played back to Vestergaard, and Denmark have taken the game down to walking pace.
Like, see, because I'm new to the whole community and I'm older, people think that I'm doing things on purpose when in reality I just don't know how to approach it like the proper way, right? So yeah, this was $1.99. This was $1.99. It's metal. It's a good hard metal. Like, it's good quality. So anyways, I'm gonna grind this up, and I'm gonna turn the volume back up for a little bit more, okay?
It is Germany 0, Denmark 0. 28 and a half minutes gone as Kroos has possession just inside his own half. Full pass though, looking for Andrik, picked up by Christian Eriksen, and now Højlund driving through the midfield, trying to go round Rudiger, and he does so, but back comes Kimmich. Great fullback cover from Josh Kimmich as Rudiger looked to have been beaten for pace by Højlund running round him, 0-0.
Didn't mind that from Rasmus Højlund in that area there. There was no pass on. Why not have a go? He went past Rudiger, but again, Joshua Kimmich on that right-hand side, that good connection between those two, Antonio Rudiger and Joshua Kimmich, just crowding him out, Rasmus Højlund. But right idea.
Eriksen on the halfway line, spins away from Andrik. Højlund tucks it out to Mæhle on the left-hand side, and then holds the ball up on the halfway line, plays it across from left to right via Anderson to Skov Olsen on this near side. Bar on the overlap if he wants to use it. Skov Olsen uses Bar now. First time cross, fire to the far post, chested down by Mæhle, trying to make room for a shot. Goes down under a challenge from Andrik, and that's going to be a free kick to Denmark inside the D, away to our right, 0-0.
Yeah, really good flagging from Denmark. Good cross from Bar. I thought he maybe had overhit it, but they get the opportunity as it pops to the edge of the box. And it is really, really clumsy from Andrik. He gets himself there, he gets nutmegged, and Mæhle goes over, and it's the correct decision. I mean, I don't think he gets the touch that goes for the legs, but when you block him off and impede him like that, certainly in that area, you're always going to get the foul.
So this will be a free kick for Denmark right inside the D, closer to the 18-yard line than the other end of the D. And Christian Eriksen's cradling the ball under his arm and waiting for the chance to spot it down whilst Michael Oliver gets the old shaving foam out.
Hang on, dude.
A couple of yards behind the penalty spot for the German players to stand behind.
He can be the only one who's going to hit this, Christian Eriksen. We've seen him do it so many times for Spurs, for Brentford, Manchester United. He's got that technique, and certainly even though it's close and you probably think you can't get it up and down from there, he will, because it's the perfect position. Centre of the goal, just inside the D, he'll find a gap from somewhere.
Ball's been placed in the centre of the D. Wind just starting to get up here with the storm clouds gathering around us. Skov Olsen standing over the free kick as well. But Eriksen surely the man most likely as he steps up, right-footed, straight into the wall, comes out to the edge of the box. Højbjerg drives down the right-hand side of the area, fizzes it across the face of goal, and nobody got a touch, and actually goes out for a German throw in their right-back position as the rain now starts to fall here at the BVB Stadium in Dortmund on the half hour. Germany 0, Denmark 0.
Right idea from Højlund, from Højbjerg. So he goes down the right-hand side. I don't know what he's trying to do. He's trying to fizz it in.
Yeah, space with the other picture, the bikini picture or whatever. I couldn't figure out. I'm like, oh no, which one is her again? And then you just changed to the dragon, and now you're this one. So I was like, oh, is that space or is that an alt space?
Another flash of lightning.
But yeah, either way, thanks for the like. I appreciate it. I know soccer's boring and everything, but it's harvesting views and bringing people in, and that's all there is to it.
Jamal Musiala looking for Gundogan, who made a lovely run down the left-hand side of the box, and Musiala tried to find him with the reverse pass, but it's cleared away by Denmark. And out of play for a throw on this near side, 0-0.
Do you know, in that situation there, I would have liked to see Musiala get a shot. I mean, he's just outside the penalty area.
Smoke.
Right idea into reverse a pass into Gundogan, who made a really good run. From there, 20 yards out, have a shot. Especially with his quality as well.
Yeah. Ball's played into Gundogan once more from Kroos this time. Just over the halfway line, Tony Kroos has to give it back to Schlotterbeck. at the edge of the centre circle. Lovely flick from Gundogan, almost got Havertz away, but Denmark won it back. Eriksson in the centre circle now, driving into the German half. Højlund's peeled away to the left, has it now. Rudiger facing him up, gets inside the area. Højlund went for goal from an ambitious angle, and it was blocked by Rudiger. And away comes Germany on the counter attack. It's Sane getting the afterburners on, steps away from Højbjerg into the centre of the half, but then Højbjerg got a foot in, and Denmark won it back when Germany, just for a moment, looked dangerous on the counter-attack, 0-0.
Yeah, he took too many touches, Leroy Sané. When he went past Delaney the first time, he should have just kept driving with it. And then he had a number of passes on. He could have given it to Musiala in this left-hand channel. Kai Havertz to make a really good run on the outside to the right. And he opted to try and beat another defender. And Vestergaard who gets a toe in. It's a really good tackle.
It's weird how that happens, hey, like that associativeness. Like everyone was associating you with your old picture, and then you changed it to artwork, and then it's like, oh my God, it's not really her anymore, it's somebody else, even though it's been you the whole time.
Højbjerg now sends it over the halfway line, asking for Delaney to give chase, and he's running out of play. He can't keep hold of it, Thomas Delaney. Yeah, former Borussia Dortmund player, Thomas Delaney, 32 years of age now. Had a season on loan at Anderlecht.
Cheers, chat. Thanks for coming in. Hope your Saturday's going good.
Club is Sevilla, where he hasn't really made an impact. Kimmich with the throw as the rain starts to come down with a bit more intensity here in Dortmund. 0-0 on TalkSport. Højbjerg for Denmark. Into the feet of Højlund, who holds it up. But then he runs into trouble, and he's dispossessed by Gundogan. And Gundogan comes away on the counter-attack for Germany. Only Havertz ahead of him. Now there's white shirts streaming up to his left. One of them is Tony Kroos, up to the edge of the area. Finds Sane with his back to goal. Plays it through to Havertz, but Havertz's first touch was heavy and allowed Denmark to get it clear. Højlund's just picked himself up from the deck. Here is Andrik in the centre of the Danish half.
So you drew that dragon yourself?
Rain really hammering down now. And another big flash of lightning. And a big clap of thunder. I didn't need to tell you that.
Holy shit, I just heard that
yourself.
I hope we're safe under here.
Adrian Durham just jumped out of his seat. Here's Havertz down the right-hand side of the box meantime. Tries to lay it back to Kimmich, who pushed in from the right wing, but it's cleared away. And it goes up to the halfway line. And Germany have it back because Denmark had all sorts of players. And the referee is now saying, I need to suspend play because of the danger to players out on the playing surface, because the storm, as you probably heard from the claps of thunder, is very, very close to the BVB Stadium here in Dortmund.
Shit, you guys.
The players are being led to this near touchline, and Michael Oliver is going to speak.
The thunder's so bad, the game's interrupted.
What advice should be given? But you can just feel the storm clouds around us building and building more and more. You can hear those rumbles of thunder. And player safety, Darren Bent, all important at these sorts of times.
Yeah, that storm come from nowhere, because it was quite a nice start to the game. And then all of a sudden, thunder and the lightning come firing down. It's been a really interesting game as well. But you throw this into the mix, it's I'm not quite sure where it suits, because I think Germany certainly were on the front foot, starting to cause one or two more problems. Thought they were a little bit sloppy in the final third, coming up the last few minutes. So maybe Denmark is just that little calm in 5 minutes, just to get a few words out. Few tactics, just to remind people about what they want to do with their jobs.
10 minutes to half time, but there will be an awful lot added on whilst options are considered down beneath us. And they're putting a message up in German. And my German's not the greatest, but I'm sure it's something to do on the Jumbotron screens with the weather causing a slight delay to proceedings. 36 minutes gone. What's your German like, Adrian Durham?
It's actually not too bad. It's basically saying,
we're pretty hot here. We're like 23.
You all knew that anyway. But I have actually managed to.
It feels hotter than 23 though.
Capture it on camera. I will send that out on social media very shortly. But the level of the storm, I've been following it for the last 10-15 minutes or so, because all of a sudden the wind got up, and then you know that the rain's going to come. The rain starts. You were right about the rumbles of thunder, and then there was a massive crack of thunder. And then the lightning was coming, still coming now. There's just a flash there. Lightning every few seconds right above this magnificent stadium. And listen, the last thing you want is for anything disastrous to happen. So I can understand why the players have been taken off and why there is a pause in play at this moment in time. One wonders, though, Darren Bent, what that will do to the players who are down there. They're just milling around in front of the dugouts down there, and one wonders what's going on with their frame of mind, because they were right into the game at that point, weren't they?
Yeah, they were, and as I said, maybe for Germany, I thought they were starting to get back on top. A little bit sloppy in the final third, I thought. Tried to be a little bit too cute, trying to go through the middle of the pitch where there's no space, just keep recycling it, go wide. But if you're Denmark and you realise that Germany are getting on top, just one or two members of the squad, get the manager in, few information, just remind people of one or two of their jobs that they've got to do, because I think defensively, I think Denmark have done well. They've not really allowed any clear-cut opportunities. I think Germany have been a little bit predictable in terms of attack. So if you're Denmark, you're quite happy.
John, weather update, because the wind is absolutely taking hold here and it's blowing everything everywhere. This after a day where it's been right up to 30 degrees. It's been boiling hot, swelteringly hot in Dortmund, and now the rain is absolutely hammering it down on this pitch.
Well, we had a cloudburst here in the group stages, didn't we? In one of the early group matches, due to adverse weather conditions, the match has been suspended. Further information will follow shortly. That's the message that's just been put on the big screens here at the BayVa Stadium. So,
can I just say in English? Thank you very much.
In English, yeah. I can ask for milk for my cup of tea, but that's as good as my German has got out here. But yeah, and the rain is as much as it was in that group stage game here, where it was the Dortmund Underground station was flooded. There was such a cloudburst here during the group stages, but the thunderstorms have put a temporary halt to proceedings here, Adrian.
Can I just say, the ball is still out there, and I'm not comfortable with that at all. I mean, the ball has been left out there like it's not important. Get the ball in. Do you not think, no? It's the most vital piece of equipment. You can change the players. I suppose you can change the ball, but the ball is there.
What, duty of care?
Yeah, I think it just doesn't feel right. But listen, there's flags, there's hats blowing everywhere. The rain is coming down. That's why there's been a suspension in play. Let's talk about what has happened in the game, Darren Bent, because I think it's been a fascinating game. I'm still trying to work out, and I've been looking all over social media, trying to work out why that Schlotterbeck header was ruled out. There were a couple of mini blocks, but it's players kind of running, and it looked to me like a Denmark player running into a German player who was just standing still. It's one of the softest disallowed goals I've seen in a long, long time, that.
Yeah, I agree. I think Schlotterbeck's got it really well, and it's a really good header. But again, I said it in commentary that the telltale sign is always, you look at the players, the Denmark players, other than the guy who hit the deck, no one even complained. The goalkeeper didn't complain. They were on their way back to the halfway line thinking that Germany had scored. For Michael Oliver to go, no, I've seen something there, and I think it was really, really soft. I think it's a poor decision. And I think from a German perspective, you're frustrated because they should be one up quite early. And then who knows what happens to the rest of the half.
And what was really weird was Michael Oliver had his finger in his ear, on his earpiece, so you're assuming he's heard something from VAR, but it was such a short period of time between the ball hitting the net and the goal being disallowed.
Hey, Space, are you still in here?
Whether it was VAR doing it or
is it you,
Michael Oliver
Hotbox?
giving the decision. A very strange one. I have to say, we could barely see the opposite stand because the rain is coming down so heavily. It's absolutely biblical, torrential. I mean, it's unbelievable, the rain right now. And actually, we're covered by a roof that hangs right way in front of us. So we shouldn't be getting wet at all, but I can feel raindrops on me.
If we were at Newcastle and this was happening, I think we'd have to send for the submarine to get us home.
Imagine if it was Old Trafford with that leaky roof.
Well, the roof was leaking here, Darren. In that game I mentioned in the group stages, it was leaking quite badly. And there's now supporters away in that yellow wall stand. You can see Adrian just peeling away from the bottom few rows to head into the concourses just to get some shelter.
They're getting drenched.
You're not happy about the ball, are you, Ray? You're not happy that they've left the ball
ball
on
is
the
still
pitch?
out there, and there's just been a close-up on the screens of the ball, which is absolutely extraordinary. I mean, listen, some of the positions for the commentary box, a couple of rows
Completely interrupted from storms.
As well, so I just find it absolutely extraordinary what's going on here. We've not seen weather like this. I mean, you had this here, but this feels like it's worse than that was. Yeah, or is it the same?
Oh, it feels to me a little bit worse.
Yeah,
I mean, it's hailstones now. Hailstones on the pitch, and apparently television companies are saying there's going to be a 30-minute delay minimum, Adrian.
wow.
To allow this storm to pass, because the hailstones as you can see, are now falling, and they're the size of. I saw this happen at
Yeah.
Euro 2016. I was in Lyon watching Northern Ireland beat Ukraine, and they had to suspend that game. I remember our former colleague Colin Murray was getting absolutely pelted with hailstones as he sat behind.
There's
the
an
goal,
intermission
and
because
they
of
had to
storms,
suspend
you
play for, I
guys.
think it was about 20 minutes that day.
The
before
thunder
we
and
could get things
lightning
back
is so
underway.
strong they
And that was 8 years ago.
put all the
Euro
players
2016.
inside.
Oh, the roof's leaking.
There's a leak in the roof over to our right as well. But to be honest with you, I don't think it's an Old Trafford situation. I think this kind of rain, this kind of hail, these conditions.
They're
might
getting
get through the
hail.
most secure roofs as well. There's rain cascading down in the corner, away to our right in two places, and to our left as well. The water cascading down from the roof. Everybody came here with it boiling hot. And I don't think the temperature has dipped too much, but I don't think many people will have waterproofs either.
Do you know what's funny? When I came up here a bit earlier than you, Age, you're messaging me about the sun. You know, is the sun going to be in our faces?
Yeah.
Is it? And look at it now.
Is the rain going to be in our faces? It was ridiculously sunny over
It's
here.
our colleague Alex Crook I feel sorry for, because he still hasn't brought a coat with him, has he?
No, I mean, he's been underclubbed all tournament. Michael Oliver's in the tunnel. He's just having words with various officials. He wasn't happy that a camera was in their face, so he's gone off to another room to make the discussion. We are hearing it's going to be a 30-minute delay with the weather conditions here in Dortmund, with the score at Germany 0, Denmark 0. But lots of fans are getting absolutely drenched, and the water away to our right absolutely cascading down from the roof. It's reminiscent of those of the water that was cascading down in Old Trafford not so long back. There's two Danish fans right underneath some of that water, singing in the rain. They're just staying there, getting soaking wet, topless, absolutely loving it. But it's not the greatest. But it's the weather condition. I don't blame the stadium at all for this. I think it's the weather conditions that are just wreaking havoc with this stadium right now. And to think, barely an hour or so ago, it's boiling hot, it's so dry and arid, and incredibly sunny before that as well. But incredible scenes of huge waterfalls. It's only all they can be described as huge. The water at the top of that roof, Darren Ben, there's huge amounts of water coming down. All that's come from the sky. It's incredible.
Absolutely incredible. And to be fair, the guys down there are working incredibly hard to try and clear it, to make sure that it's safe. But I mean, it almost looks like it's not going to stop. It's
Yeah.
coming down with that force that it looks like, well, that's going to take some time, because, as you said there, it's coming out of the sky and it is absolutely hammering down. It's not trickling, it's hammering through the stand for all four corners.
Yeah.
You've got a corner over there, there's
Yeah.
that, then it's here, it's to the left of us as well. Absolutely incredible.
Well, one wonders what state the pitch will be in. The hailstones came, and now it is just rain. I'm saying just rain, but it's incredible rain. This is the kind of rain that forces games to be postponed. There's no doubt about that. However, at this moment in time, we've not had word of that. But this is extraordinary. I love the fact that, you know, fans have. It's a full house, 60-odd thousand in here for this game. It's a full house, but fans have either made their way to the concourse or made their way back up to the stands, towards the middle and back of the stands, just to try and avoid the rain. Now we are, I would say, in the middle of there's two tiers in this stand. We're in the, or up to towards the back of the first tier, and we felt the rain on us, even though we are some way back. But we felt raindrops on us, and I'm not sure it's from the roof. Oh yeah, it definitely is. There's leaks in the roof right above my head. Thankfully, the raindrops that are coming through are just blowing away from the top of my head. I'm being excused any rainfall. Thank you very much.
Do you know what, though? And you spoke about this, Ed, about the pitch, the state of the pitch. When you look at the two teams and the way that they play, this wet surface will suit the Germans, because the way they slick passing, the way they move the ball really, really quickly, it might just favour them a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm wondering about the surface water. I mean, we can only see on top of it now. We can't really see how it is, how the ball might drag. If you try and roll a ball or bounce a ball on there, one wonders how true it will be. Would it bounce back up? If you roll it, will it roll, or will it just stop because there's so much water on the pitch? That, for me, is a concern. And if it's like that, Darren Ben, and there's so much rain, it's still raining heavily on this pitch, then Michael Oliver
Still
will have
raining
a big
heavily.
decision to make, I think.
It's still
Yeah,
raining
yeah,
heavily on
someone
this
slips,
pitch.
The ball doesn't bounce. you can't
I'll
play on
pitch you.
you hope that it kind of calms down a little bit, and I'm guessing in a little bit of time they'll get the guys on with the big brooms that'll try and sweep the water, and that'll give us an
Big
indication
brooms.
as to how much
Let's
water the pitch is
broom
carrying.
the water.
But at the
Broom,
minute, I mean, it doesn't
broom,
look like it's
broom,
slowing down
broom.
anytime soon. It's come down really, really heavy. The rain coming through the roof doesn't look like it's slowing down. Hopefully in time, what they're saying 30 minutes, hopefully in 20 minutes time it should be okay.
I would say that looking up at the sky, it's got brighter. I mean, it was virtually pitch black maybe 15, 20 minutes ago. When they were still out on the pitch, I took a photo of the sky, and it was virtually pitch black, set against the lights at the top of the two-tier stand opposite us. But looking up at the sky now, it's brighter, which tells me those dark clouds.
Hang on, I'm going to
are
read the
passing,
chat
and
soon. I can
therefore
see you
the rain
typing. Just hang on.
theoretically should be passing.
I know we're in
But just to
trouble.
give you an
Just
idea
hang
of
on.
how difficult this rain has been. Like I said, I gave you our position a moment ago. We've had to cover up, producer Izzy's had to cover up all of our technical equipment, electrical equipment, for fear that might be affected by the rainfall.
I remember another suspension when England were at the World Cup in Brazil. They went to Miami and played a couple of warm-up games there in 2014. And I forget whether it was Honduras or Ecuador, but they were playing at the Sun Life Stadium in Miami. And all the stands are open at that stadium. There are no roofs whatsoever. And there was a weather warning for a thunderstorm. And that was a good hour that we had to wait on an afternoon for that to clear.
T.
And
Ferris,
everybody was
mid
told in the
smokers.
stands, do not stay in your seat, go back into the concourses. And it was, because those Florida thunderstorms mean business, don't they? So it's quite similar to that, although many people have kept their
T.
seats, haven't they?
Ferris.
Many people have stayed, the Danish fans particularly to our right in the northern tribune, have stayed exactly where they are in the bottom tier. And the rain, if I don't look at the flooded rain that's coming down from each corner, the actual rain that's falling from the skies is not as intense as it was 5 minutes ago.
T.
Yeah,
Ferris.
yeah.
A little.
T.
Yeah,
Ferris.
it's still raining. Let's
T.
point that out.
Ferris.
What I want to do is I
T.
just want to
Ferris.
give a huge round of applause to the Danish fans. They've been brilliant since well before the game kicked off. They're kind of singing and chanting towards each other. As soon as that water starts cascading down into this area of seats where they are, two of them strip off and they're dancing in it. Then loads more of them strip off, and they're all arms around each other's shoulders, singing and
T.
dancing
Ferris,
in
you
the
left.
rain. And I
Where'd
just
you
think
go?
it's a
Come back.
magnificent thing. I'm sure a lot of fans would have that same
Come
kind of
on
attitude.
back.
There's not a lot we could do about it. So therefore, we'll
Come
just
on
have a good
back
time
in.
and we'll sing in the rain. We're going to get
It's
wet.
all right,
So it's
little feller. Come on back in.
Guys, yeah, you're right. There could be a bit of a moan at people, not happy with the situation, but as you said there, taking their tops off, dancing, but all in it together as well. All sitting together, all tops off, jumping, singing, getting a standing ovation from their fellow Danes. It's been really nice to see.
Yeah, it has. Now there's information on the screen in Danish for those in the red shirts away to our right. So fair play to UEFA for that. Can you translate that, Ian?
Ferris, are you barbecuing today?
I can see the word suspended, and I think that means suspended.
Oh, they just put it up in English again. How nice.
And it's the same message. Due to adverse weather conditions, the match has been suspended. Further information will follow shortly. That update is there's still rain cascading down.
The
in
match
one
has
of the
been
four corners.
suspended
It was
from
all four
rain.
corners. So there's water cascading down away to our
What
right
the fuck?
into an area of seats that are empty now, but had Danish fans in there. And the rain itself is easing off, has eased off. Is it even raining? Can you see that?
Like a little
Drizzle.
bit. I mean,
A little bit.
like
Light drizzle.
when I look at the top of the stand, you can see just little bits of it still coming
Rain.
down. Not as much it did. And even the water now seems to be subsided. That was coming out.
The waterfalls.
Yes.
You mean, yeah. It is. It's getting. There were two streams, waterfall streams. One of them has virtually dried up. The other one's still going strong. But that tells you it's easing off. And the sky above is much brighter than it was, as we said before. So that ball's still out there, though.
You're not happy about that, are you?
And I'm not. I mean, what sort of state's the ball going to be in? Anybody going to dry it off? Anybody going to give it some? I've got to love a football. You must have slept with a football in your time, surely.
Yeah, as a kid.
Yeah,
not for a
absolutely.
while.
Yeah, but
Not for a while.
it's a thing that you love and cherish, a football, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't leave it out there in an electrical storm.
Yeah, but if that's the water log, I'll just get another one.
What if that had been hit by lightning? Who cares about that ball?
It's not Wilson.
Well, Wilson!
Yeah.
What I will say is that there is or there was a social media site for lost footballs. Oh, hang on, the computer's got all wet. There's a social media site, photos of lost footballs,
Yes.
which is absolutely brilliant. And I saw one in the, these electrical substations. There was a burst football in the middle of one of those, in the middle of, in Belfast, I think it was. And so I took a picture of it. Magnificent, sent it in. Magnificent. That ball on the pitch right now, on its own, I think belongs on that social media site.
Meantime, Adrian, Michael Oliver, we can see in the tunnel in discussions with his assistants, Stuart Burton, Dan Cook, and also with UEFA officials. I think they're having a discussion about whether it is safe to return to the playing surface. Meantime, as that water still cascades down from the northeast corner here at the BVB Stadion, the officials have been sweeping away water as it's landed around the perimeter of the pitch, and they've done a fantastic job in stopping that becoming too much of a problem. And I think Michael Oliver is probably in conversations at the moment, Adrian, saying, right, the danger from the thunderstorm appears to have passed. How soon can we get things back underway?
I would agree with that. I think what they'll have to do is what they do when they determine whether a game should go ahead or not. They'll come out and check the ball and roll the ball and bounce the ball and see what state the surface of the pitch is in first of all. They're probably looking for the ball. I can tell them it's on the pitch. You left it out there.
Well, you know what these pitches are like these days, Adrian? They're sand-based, and the drainage, for the most part, of these modern pitches is astonishing. How much rainwater it can actually absorb without it really affecting the run of the ball or the bounce of the ball too much. But yeah, I'm just wanting to see somebody come out and bounce it. Just give us a clue.
Ian, can I ask you a question?
Ask me a question.
I mean, when you watched Castaway, right, and Wilson came off his little spike and drifted off,
Yes,
and Tom Hanks finally realised he couldn't retrieve Wilson,
yes.
I cried my eyes out. Sure, tell me that you did the same, because that's what normal people would do.
Yeah. I had a moment. I think we all had a moment. Same as when E.T. I thought E.T. had died, but that's different film, different era.
Fucking listen to these announcers. They're crying about Wilson when Wilson disappeared on Castaway, and the other guy was crying when ET left. These guys are
The
awesome.
match is going to resume shortly. That's what it says on the big screens in the corner. Attention, please. Match will resume shortly. Ilkay Gundogan is at the top of the tunnel. The Germany captain, Rasmus Højlund, is there as well. They're all pretty keen to get back on with it. Out they come. They're going to have a little warm-up as well. See some of the coaching staff have put balls on the pitch. They're all addressing the 6-yard boxes as well. Some of the ground staff are taking forks out there, and they're sticking the forks in the ground just to make sure that rainwater is soaked up. And here come the players. Germany peel off away to the right, and Denmark away to the left. It's 0-0, by the way, but just in case you wondered. And finally, the ball. Well played, Jamal Musiala. He's shown the football some love. It needed kicking. Jamal Musiala, my player of the tournament for that.
Save football.
What a man. If only he'd chosen England. But the ball looks to be running true, Darren Ben, doesn't it? They kicked a few around, they're rolling it around. There's a bounce there. It's bouncing absolutely fine, yeah.
Modern day pictures, built for anything, but you're right, it is rolling well. It looks like it's bouncing. I'm watching the goalkeepers now, doing a little goalkeeping drill, and you can quite quick, clearly see the ball's bouncing, it's moving quite nicely. But as I said, it's one of those conditions, though, Aid, shoot on sight now, because the ball will skid off the turf,
Yeah.
it'll be wet, it'll be slidey. Goalkeepers maybe can't hang on to it as much as they'd like. It'll make a real fascinating rest of the game.
Yeah, it could. Just we talked about the Schlotterbeck header that was disallowed. Quick word on Christian Eriksen's touch, which you know when you see some football and it's so magical, you make a little noise involuntarily. That's why I saw that touch. I went, oh man, that's so good. And then Rudiger out of nowhere makes a block. It's just brilliant football all round, isn't it?
Yeah, the cheek of Rudiger. We'd let it go in. After that touch, I mean, the pass from Anderson sets it all off. I mean, it drills it about 70 yards, lands it on Christian Eriksen's toe, and the touch is just beautiful. Back onto his right foot, and you're thinking, just bury it. But fair play, Antonio Rudiger, who's turned into one of the best defenders on the planet the last couple of seasons. He gets a foot in from nowhere, and it's a really good tackle.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's almost like he said, well, Eriksen, you have your little moment, and I know you think you're going to score, but I'm going to be the king round here. Nobody gets past me.
Do you know what's nice about that situation? There was a little high five from Eriksen and Rudiger.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love that.
As if to say, like, mutual respect. That
Oh.
was nice, but listen, son, not on my watch.
That's how it should be,
Yeah.
isn't it? I mean, Ericsson must have.
Hey, dogs,
appreciated
what's
that,
up?
And Rudiger having thought, I've let him in, and he retrieves it. But that touch from Ericsson, that's absolutely dreamy.
Yeah,
Oliveira
well,
there
it does
kicking
hit
the
a
ball
lot
inside. There was
harder,
no
that's for
problem.
sure.
I can't believe that.
When you
The
mix the two,
torrential monsoon we have
you get
just
messed
had,
up good.
and it wasn't 2 or 3 minutes.
Or
It
rather,
went on
you
for a
can get
long,
messed
long
up good.
time, has not affected the pitch at all. That is modern technology and modern pitches. That is absolutely magnificent. I think it's fair to say, and no disrespect to the lower leagues, but I would say that the majority of football matches in our country would be called off after a monsoon like that.
Yeah, it didn't stop. As you said, 15 minutes hammering down. Health and safety, of course, is an issue. But as you said there, you go out there and you look at what's going on. It looks like it didn't even rain. There was nothing happened. It's moving really nicely. 1 and 2 touch. The guys look like they're standing up. Obviously, they've not had to change their boots as well. They've done well to get it back.
I remember some years ago, Michael at Birmingham St Andrews used to have a crown. The pitch used to have a crown. The centre circle was the highest point of the pitch, and it fell away all sides of it. When Trevor Francis, the late great Trevor Francis, became our manager, he spent thousands of pounds getting the pitch levelled. One of the first games after that was against Crewe. I was reporting there for Talk Sport, I think. Downpour, puddles everywhere.
It's going good, man. It's going really good.
The pitch the way it would have probably been all right.
Pretty relaxed here. I did a little bit of work
Brilliant,
today,
absolutely
but
brilliant.
otherwise it's
As
just
well,
been
the
chill
gaps
zone.
in
Just the
time,
way I like
pause
it.
in the game, coaches have had time to address issues.
How about
and
you?
Go around with individual players and say, look, this has been happening. Can we do this now? That might be important in how this game goes.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to, obviously, the Danish manager, keep doing what you're doing, defending really tight, resolute, stay compact. But if you're the German manager, you say, listen, move the ball quickly in the final third. They're there for the taking. But if you slow it down, they're getting back into shape and making it difficult. You have to play quick.
Well, we're about to have a drop ball to resume. So it's back with your commentary team on TalkSport. It's Germany 0, Denmark 0, round of 16. Here's Darren Bent and Ian Danta.
And the ball is rolled back to Tony Kroos, and we started
Tony
at
Kroos.
34 minutes and 37 seconds towards the end of this first half. We're nearly at 35 minutes now. So 10 to half time plus whatever Michael Oliver wants to add on for other stoppages other than the thunderstorm. 0-0, and Kasper Schmeichel goes across to his left-hand side to grab the ball and spot it down for a goal kick. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. 0-0. Had that Schlotterbeck header that did go into the back of the net early on from the corner, disallowed for a foul inside the box elsewhere. Schmeichel tucks it downfield,
68%?
right-footed. Højlund goes up and gets the flick on
Are
ahead of
you
Andrić,
serious?
but Schlotterbeck picks up the second ball and calmly tucks it out to the right-hand side.
My
for
stuff is 21.
now Rudiger gets a right-footed ball down the right-hand side, but that's a good strong header back over halfway by Christensen. Merle, the left wing back, tries to play a 1-2 with Ericsson, which nearly came off, but Germany
Is
had it
Fish
back.
Tank being broadcast on YouTube right now?
Gundogan on the halfway line, sprinting into the Danish half. Højlund gets back, goal side, but he fouled him, and this free kick for Germany will be smack bang in the middle of the Danish half of the field. 9 to half time, 0-0.
He's fortunate there, Gundogan. He tries to go across Højlund, and he's too strong for him. He sets his body, and Gundogan tries to get himself round, and he can't do it. And to be fair, I think Rasmus Højlund is unfortunate. I don't think it's a foul. If Gundogan tries to be strong, doesn't happen. Højlund gets his body in, and then Gundogan goes over, and Michael Oliver gives the foul. But for me, shouldn't have been a foul.
Kroos to take it. It's one of those strange free kicks where he can float it left or right. In the end, he passes to his immediate left for Raum. Raum will get a good cross into the area. Havertz with a header, blocked out by Schmeichel. It was straight at him, and he got it out and away from danger. But Germany still have it. Kimmich now with the ball to the far post. Schlotterbeck over the header into the side netting, and it's a Danish goal kick. 1 or 2 around us thought that was in from Nico Schlotterbeck. But the initial header from Havertz from a lovely cross from Raum was straight to Kasper Schmeichel, but he had to deal with it. 0-0.
Joe, it's a really good header, and what he does well, he probably should score, Kai Havertz. But the way he adapts, because it just drops over Antonio Rudiger's head, and he thinks he's going to head it, but then as it drops, he still stays, he's still committed to it, and he gets his head on it, and it's a really good save from Kasper Schmeichel. I mean, he's a bit fortunate that it's straight at him, but fair play to Kai Havertz, because he was unsighted, gets his head on it, and it's a good save.
68% though, that's
0-0
crazy.
On Talk Sport. Alexander Bar for Denmark.
I watched
Gets
the
ball up
first
to
Fish
halfway
Tank.
line. It's back with Pierre-Emile Højbjerg now. Højbjerg just in front of the back three. They played out to the left-sided of those three centre-halves. Christensen, Eriksson, back in field for Delaney. And keep possession, do Denmark. Ball's chipped in field. Rasmus Højlund heads it up in the air. Kept in play tight to that far touchline by Mæhle. And a lovely ball down the left-hand side for Delaney. Early ball into the edge of the area. And it went under the boot of Eriksson. And Skov Olsen was just ahead of the ball as it rolled behind him. And Neuer could pick it up. 0-0.
It's a good ball to the edge of the box. You just want one of the midfield players. Unfortunately, Christian Eriksen was the one who put the crossing, because usually he'd be in that area. As it rolls across the box, he comes onto it and he finishes. Because he got caught out on the left, putting that cross in, there was no one. Delaney was too far back. There was no one really timing their run into the box to get on the end of it.
6.5 to half time on TalkSport. Germany 0, Denmark 0 in Dortmund. As the skies continue to clear above us after the cloud burst we had not 20 minutes ago. Kimmich down the right-hand side for Sane. And of course, there's somebody starting a thunderclap around us. There's somebody trying to wind me up. Corner kick to Germany, meantime. At the yellow wall end of the ground. Sane tried to get to the ball first, but Christensen slid it out of play. Made that 5 corners for Germany in this first half.
Who's
And we're just
C4?
seeing a replay of that header from Havertz that Schmeichel managed to get away from danger.
It's a really good header. Really good header. As I said, Rudiger gets up and Kai Havertz does everything well other than just put it past Kasper Schmeichel.
Kroos with the right wing corner for
Oh,
Germany.
never mind.
Deep to
Never
the far
mind.
post, but nobody there in German white. And then it rolls out of play, and there's a foul, actually, a foul given against Thomas Delaney for a push on Schlotterbeck. So it's a free kick that's almost as good as a corner for Germany on this left-hand side, 0-0.
Yeah, it's a foul from Delaney. He just doesn't see Schlotterbeck coming. He tries to get his body in and thinks, right, I'll just let it bounce out. Schlotterbeck, to be fair to him, sprints out there, and Delaney's got no interest in trying to get the ball, just stops Schlotterbeck from getting it, and for me, that's a foul.
I'll keep that in mind. I'll have to look into it because I like the first one.
Raum is stood at the left-hand corner of the box if he wants to roll it to him. Denmark defending their 6-yard line. To the far post from Kroos, headed up in the air awkwardly by the Danish defence and headed behind. Is it? No, it's kept in play by Højbjerg, preventing the corner. And Denmark just struggling to get the ball out of their own defensive third. Michael Oliver wants to book. Is it the Danish manager, Kasper Hjulmand, he wants to book here? He's walking straight for him. And indeed, it is a yellow card for the Danish manager for a bit too much back chat on the touchline. 0-0 it stays.
Bit petty, that. Bit petty from Michael Oliver, no?
Well, I didn't see what Hjulmand did. It
Okay,
wasn't obvious
gotcha,
what he was
gotcha.
doing. He wasn't being particularly demonstrative, I wouldn't say. 5 minutes to half time in this rain-affected first half on TalkSport in Dortmund. Germany 0, Denmark 0. Neuer, the German keeper, tries to clip it out right-footed to Kimmich, who couldn't keep it in play. Danish fans behind that right-hand goal love that. Throw to the Danes.
Awful back pass from Schlotterbeck to him. I mean, he didn't give him a chance to clear it properly. Bounced it in, too much pace on it. Was getting shut down by Højlund. Poor play there from the centre half.
Højbjerg tries to find Eriksson. Ricochet gets into the path of Højlund. Now out to the right-hand corner of the box from Skov Olsen. Into the box. Play ball across the box by Barr. But it was intercepted by Schlotterbeck. And then he treads on the ball. Højlund wins it back. Drives it into the side netting from a very, very tight angle. He'd have done well to squeeze that past Manuel Neuer from that angle. But that was just a bit of nervous defending from Germany that time, and Nico Schlotterbeck stays 0-0.
Again, Schlotterbeck causing problems for himself. First of all, the back pass just now to Neuer, which wasn't good enough. And then trying to Cruyff turn and a little chop inside his own box. Just clear it. I mean, Leroy Sané had made a great run out wide. Just clip it over the top to him. He's already shown the pace that he's got. When you try to overplay, I've seen Germany do that too many times in this first half. Trying to overplay and then kicking it long and giving the ball away.
Ball's back with Manuel Neuer and Antonio Rudiger, just to the right of his own penalty area.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I'll have to look into it.
For Leroy Sané
Although the
inside his
deals
own
here are
half.
pretty sweet.
Managed to evade 2 or 3 challenges. Great skill from Leroy Sané. And now it's worked out to Raum on the halfway line on the German left. Out to Musiala, who thought he got the beating of Alexander Barr, but Barr got a foot in, put it out for a throw.
Good defending from Alexander Barr. I thought he'd gone. I thought Musiala got past him. I thought the pass had enough pace in it, but he used that pace to get back and put his foot in and make a challenge. Because if Musiala goes past him, he's at 1v1 with Anderson.
2.5 minutes to half time. 0-0 on TalkSport in Dortmund.
Hey, Harrison.
It's Højlund trying to chest the ball down to the path of Eriksson.
How are you doing today?
Moves back into
I'm
his
having a
own
pretty
half.
good Saturday.
I should say that Casper Hjulman, the
Thanks for
Danish
coming
manager,
in, man.
was
Good to
an
see you.
assistant manager when Jonathan Richter was hit by lightning in a reserve match for Nordjylland when he was manager there, and it was a very serious incident. And
That's
probably
good.
why
That's good. I'm happy to hear it,
the
Harrison.
Danish manager was as keen as anybody
Nice
for
to
play
see you
be
in here.
suspended when the weather was closing in the way it was here in this first half. So, approaching half-time on Talk Sport, and it is.
There was a
levels. It's
big delay
0-0
because of
now,
the
Red.
storm.
Again, I'm sure the Danish would be delighted to get in a half-time with this scoreline.
The Wolverhampton and Kai Havertz there. They're just in the final third this first half. Just overplaying a little bit, taking too many touches. I mean, the first 10 minutes are 1 and 2 touches, playing really quick, really causing Denmark problems. Since then, they've come away from that. Everyone's trying to dribble. Everyone's trying to play hero football. Get back to what he was doing really well, which was playing little 1-2s, little intricate passes, little 1-2s.
Musiala was caught there in the centre circle by Bar as he tried to turn and move into the Danish half of the field. So a free kick for the Germans. Kroos might leave it for Andrich on this occasion. No, Andrich walks away. Kroos takes it short along the deck to Sarli. Touched into the area by Havertz. Back for Gundogan. And it was
I'm lucky. The store by me, it's only ran by one person, and they do a punch card system. And once you fill out the punch card, you get 25% off.
The defenders had dropped 5 yards off him.
And their
He
prices are good to
them.
begin with.
Gundogan made a good run, but that's what attracted the defenders to.
Yeah, it has been a good game. The Danes believe they can win even though they're outmatched.
On the left-hand side, near to us. Just back heels it into the path of Brown. Schlotterbeck now. Into the field of Musiala. Quickly on the half turn. Tries to drift away from Højbjerg. Out to the left-hand side.
And Germany
to
knows they
Musiala.
can't screw it up because they're the home
Player for
team.
Germany. Schlotterbeck again. Kroos finds Musiala. Ball into the centre of the half is picked off by Delaney. And Denmark have it back. And Eriksson releases Delaney over halfway. Rudiger trying to get on the cover. Into the area. Højlund gets there ahead of Neuer. Neuer gets enough of a touch to keep it out the net. Germany clear.
See what I mean? They think they can win.
In the area, clutching his chest. But Rasmus Højlund just stuck out a long leg to try and divert the ball over Manuel Neuer. But Neuer managed to block it away. 0-0.
Really good
added time.
Really good play from Christian Eriksen. The pass that puts in Delaney, it's an unbelievable pass. But when it comes to Højlund, I mean, Rudiger makes up all the ground, makes a really good tackle. But fair, Rasmus Højlund go around the goalkeeper. He tries to dink it, and it is possibly the right type of finish. But when you're going at that speed, that momentum, and the manager comes out, just go around him, take it to the left, and because Neuer's committed, the only thing he can do is bring it down.
Throw in for Denmark, left-hand side. We're into a single minute of additional time at the end of this delayed first half. If you're just tuning into TalkSport, a heavy thunderstorm saw a suspension of play for 20 minutes or so here in Dortmund.
No, I don't. I just do dry flour.
Left to right to pick out Scott Olsen on the Danish right, level with the area. Looks to dip the shoulder and get away from Round for a moment. Still
Yeah,
has
Germany
it, Scott
better be
Olsen
careful
puts it
or they're
back
going to end
to
up
Joachim
getting...
Andersen. Puts a diagonal ball into the box. Delaney goes up for a header. Headed up in the air by Andrich and well caught by Neuer with Delaney trying to pressurise him. Stoppage time, 0-0 first half.
Yeah, but good cross there. Really good play from Olsen for Denmark on this right-hand side. Really play some good stuff.
Yeah, no doubt.
And
Exactly.
that is half-time. Michael Oliver sends the players back down the tunnel. Good-natured word between Thomas Delaney and Manuel Neuer after that challenge right at the end of the half. But it is goalless in Dortmund at the break. And it was a very tight game. Germany thought they had the lead very early on through a Nico Schlotterbeck header from Toni Kroos's corner. But Michael Oliver saw an infringement in the box and ruled it out very, very quickly. Germany have had the lion's share of the possession, 59% to Denmark's 41%. But Denmark have had their chances, notably that chance for Højlund right at the end of the half. And Rudiger also made a brilliant block earlier in the half before the thunderstorm came.
Yeah.
After Christian Eriksen had some sublime skill at the edge of the area from a long ball forward. At the break, at the Bevarbay Stadion on TalkSport, it's Germany 0, Denmark 0.
If it feels like we've already had half-time, it's been one of the strangest nights on TalkSport here.
If they can play that long ball,
game was suspended,
and then the German
delayed,
defense gets
and that's
careless,
when the
all it
players
takes
taken
is
off the
one
pitch,
bad play
came
in the
out,
penalty
resumed play,
area.
and now we have hit half-time, albeit a little bit late. So let's take a look at the half-time highlights with Carling.
Half-time highlights.
Okay, I'm going to eat some lunch for halftime. I'm just going to leave this going. I'm going to be about maybe 15 minutes.
Well, Darren Ben, we talked earlier about the Schlotterbeck header. What a different game it would have been had that goal been allowed. And you and me both think it should have been allowed. It's a shame it wasn't allowed, really, because it could have really... It's been a decent first half, but that could have really opened it up.
Yeah, because it's turned a little bit cagey from both sides, not really wanting to overcommit too many men forward. But that goal there for me, I know they're talking about a block. I think it's Kimmich that blocks the defender. I didn't see too much wrong with it. I thought Schlotterbeck got on really well. And again, no Denmark player complained. Kasper Schmeichel didn't complain. They got up, they were on the way back to the halfway line. And then it's Michael Oliver that says, no, I've seen an infringement and it's not a foul. But it should have been, in my opinion, a foul. It should have been a goal, sorry, not a foul.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't a foul. They've been too desperate to rule out a goal again. Listen, if I see it again, and I'll happily say on air, come back on air and say, look, okay, I missed that bit, it's a foul. But from what we've seen, and we've seen various different angles of it, we saw it live here in the stadium as well, didn't look like a foul, and it looked like a perfectly good goal. Not given, it stays 0-0. Hoyland right at the end of the half there, he had a great chance going through. Now, was that him not doing things properly, or should Neuer get a lot of credit for that?
I mean, yeah, Neuer, he deserves a lot of credit. But I think in that instance, when you're going that quick, if he shifts it to the left, I mean, he went for the dink and fair play to him. He tried to make a decision. If he shifts it to the left, because Neuer has already committed, he either gets taken down or he rolls the ball in the empty net. He's almost let the goalkeeper off the hook by trying that little scoop, because Neuer, he spreads himself well, but he's committed. So he thinks, right, I'm going to try and make the save. If he shifts it a yard to the left, he either gets taken out or he rolls it in the empty net. So I think in that instance there, I know we're talking about very tender margins, he should have gone round him and just put it in the empty net.
What about Hoyland then? For a goal-scoring striker, you score goals at every level you were asked to score goals, Darren Bent. Rasmus Hoyland had little bursts for Manchester United. It took him ages to even get a touch of the ball tonight in this game. And then he has that moment. It's okay if a striker doesn't touch the ball, as long as when he does get the ball eventually in the game, he hits the back of the net with it. Golden opportunity. He's still young, he's still raw, may come good, but right now is the answer for club and country.
I mean, you're right. I mean, he's only 21 and he can score goals, but I just think at the minute, obviously, didn't get a goal in the group stages. Just looks a little bit, the last little bit. I mean, some of his plays have been okay. I mean, as you said, didn't touch the ball for 17 minutes, and you're thinking, well, come on, I get it. He's isolated. He's got to be that focal point for his team, and he has shown one or two nice touches, a little bit bursts here and there. But he just looked a little bit indecisive for me in that final third, where sometimes he's tried to go around really good when maybe the easy option was to pass it. He's tried a couple of shots, tried to beat a few people when you think, well, no, play 1 and 2 touch. And then when he gets that situation at the end there, we're going right. This is what he's worked all that first half for. You haven't seen much of the ball, but this is what you've been working for. For me, he just chooses the wrong option, and it's opportunity gone. But second half, he's got to start again, because I'm pretty sure he'll come out for the second half. And when the opportunity does come again next, he's got to take it.
What have you made of the game since the resumption after the storm?
I think Germany have probably been the better side again, just fractionally. But I think there's been a real lack of quality in both final thirds. I think Germany are trying to be a little bit too predictable, trying to go through the middle when the space isn't in there, especially when they're playing 3 centre-halves. You have to go round him. You can't keep trying to go through the middle. So I think Gundogan's been guilty of that. I think Kai Havertz has been guilty of that. And I think Denmark here, when they've tried to cross the ball, they've put too much on it. Or when they've got their better players putting crosses in the box, there's no one in here. So a little bit disappointed, I would say, in both final thirds.
Have Germany got anyone they could bring on?
You've been waiting to see him, haven't you? I mean, this game for me is screaming out for a natural centre forward, because Kai Havertz again showing nice touches here and there, but there are times they're putting the ball in the box. And Kai Havertz, to be fair, had the header. He had the header, which he done really well because he reacted, because it dropped just over Rudiger's head, and he gets a good contact, but straight at Kasper Schmeichel. But Fulkrug must be thinking, get me on, get me on.
It's made for me, boss. Gaffer, get me on that pitch. You know he's saying that right now in the dressing room in German, obviously. That was the halftime highlights, thanks to Carling 18+. Please drink responsibly.
Half-time highlights on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18+, always drink responsibly.
TalkSport, the only UK broadcaster with live commentary of every game from these Euros. And that's not all. Coming up, we have official live coverage of the Olympics later this summer, as well as the Open Golf World Match Play Darts at Blackpool. That starts July 13. We are all extremely excited, because for the first time in the radio station's history, TalkSport is an official media partner of the Olympics, and we will be in Paris for live coverage of the Games this summer. They get underway on July the 26th. TalkSport is your station, not just for live football, but for live sport. You're listening to Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now.
Euro Game Day Live, delivered by TalkSport with Burger King. What's better than a last-minute winner? A crispy chicken royale delivered straight to your door.
When Andre sold his car on finance with Motorway, he got more money. Ooh. He then put that extra money into tickets to follow his team around the country. Selling on Motorway was completely stress-free, which is more than I can say about being a supporter of. Sell your car the more money way, where 84% of sellers sold for more. Motorway. Validated against 2 independent sources. Visit motorway.co.uk/claim.
I need to get snacks. I need to get drinks. Should have done this beforehand. I need to get drinks. Gotta find a BP. Gotta find a BP. Oh, my mates, they won't like me. Gotta find it. Oh, there it is.
BP is here for all your big game essentials. Plus, BP Me Rewards members can earn points to put towards great saves.
Had him in the car. One hungry mates. Now.
BP, here for all of life's journeys. BP Me Rewards card or app required. For full T's and C's, visit bpmerewards.co.uk.
I tell you what, Jeff, it's been some journey, but here they are, just moments away from the whistle. Absolutely, there's been twists, there's been turns, not to mention that parking of the bus. But as the clock runs down, I think they're going to make it. It goes to show that you can really handle the pressure when your tyres are performing.
I'm home. The game started yet?
Top performance.
Driving home for the match? Keep your tyres in peak condition. Book today at quickfit.com or your local centre. Quickfit, drive away happy every time.
Get match ready with Club Card prices. Like Pringles 185 grams, now £1.45, down from £2.25. With Tesco Club Card, everyone can feel the to lower prices. Tesco, every little helps. Majority of larger stores end 16th July. Club Card or app required.
Strength comes from confidence, both on and off the pitch. And confidence starts with self-care. Upgrade your game with Dove Men Plus Care Advanced 72-hour sweat protection antiperspirant deodorant and Dove Men Plus Care 24-hour nourishing body wash. Perfect for your post-match shower. Now available in new eucalyptus and mint long-lasting fresh fragrance. Let confidence last with Dove Men Plus Care. Proud partners of UEFA Euro 2024 Germany.
Let's go live to hear about that winning goal.
The crowd's gone absolutely wild here. How on earth do you sum up your emotions right now?
Amazing. A hat-trick is just the best feeling ever.
Is it though? Is kicking the ball into the back of the net really better than food fulfillment from Burger King? That warm, fuzzy feeling of total food satisfaction, like finishing the last bite of the Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus.
No.
Correct. Burger King, that's food fulfillment.
This tournament, prepare for greatness with William Hill. Get ready for last-minute winners, legendary goals, and straight red cards. Oh, what was he thinking? Win 50% more on every England game this tournament with Bet Builder Extra, online or in the app, only from William Hill. Available day before match to kick off. Bet Builder with 3+ selections of 3-1 or more. Pre-match singles, match stake £20. Full T's and C's apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18+, always drink responsibly.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave, on DAB, online and on your smart speaker. Official broadcaster of UEFA Euro 2024 Germany.
TalkSport.
You're listening to Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18+, please drink responsibly. Loads of subs out there warming up during the half-time interval. It is Germany 0, Denmark 0 here in Dortmund. Let's look at the latest odds, all thanks to William Hill.
In the zone on TalkSport with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18+, gambleaware.org.
So it's still 0-0. Germany are 6-5 on to win this in 90 minutes. Denmark are 24-5. The draw is 15-8. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg to be carded is 3-1. Kai Havertz to score the first goal is 13-2. That's all thanks to William Hill. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
In the zone on TalkSport with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Well, I promised you we would hear from the England manager, Gareth Southgate, in this half-time interval, and he's been speaking with TalkSport's England correspondent, Faye Carruthers.
Can we just have a fitness update? How is everybody in camp at the moment?
Yeah, everybody's available. We'll just make a decision tonight on whether Luke has done enough to come into the game, but he's certainly progressing well and training with the team, as you saw today.
That's great news. Not obviously able to start in that case. How's Kieran Trippier? Because I know he's missed a couple of days training this week.
A little bit more recovery, really. He obviously hadn't played that many matches at the end of the season, and that volume has gone up, so you are a little bit more cautious with allowing some players an extra day's recovery rather than throw them into every training session. That's quite normal, really.
And we know that Phil Foden obviously has missed a couple of training sessions. Is he ready to start?
Yeah, he only missed one because we didn't train the day after the game. He then came back. So the most important thing is that everything at home is good. And another little one, another new addition to the Foden household. So, but yeah, he's good and ready to go.
I just want to ask you about your attacking options, because there's been a lot of talk this week about the performances that we saw from Cole Palmer and Anthony Gordon when they came on and it really impacted the game. I know they're all pushing each other for starts, but what's the difference, for example, between starting a Cole Palmer over a Bukayo Saka or vice versa?
Yeah, slightly different players, but both of them obviously favour, left foot coming in, rolling in off the right wing. Bukayo perhaps a little bit more direct, more speed, more experience, clearly. Cole really adapting well to firstly the Premier League this season and then life with us as well. So, we're very happy with both players. Both have contributed really well, and you want your changes to make a difference. And in the last couple of games, I think our attacking changes have made a difference to how the team have played.
Yeah, they certainly have. Anthony Gordon did as well, albeit just for a few minutes. You're expecting to give him a bit more time on the pitch?
Well, he obviously had an injury coming into the summer. I thought there were still signs of that in the game at Wembley, but definitely in the last week or so, he's focused.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Well. But I have to say the whole group are. The training pitch is a really good challenge. It's important because the starting team need that challenge in training. Everybody's got to be ready to come in. You're in games now where it could be 6 changes if you go to extra time. So it's crucial that everybody's ready.
Gareth Southgate with TalkSport's Faker or others. I'm told that Harry Kane and Gareth Southgate upbeat in the press conference. I'm not interested in that. I want them upbeat and playing well on the pitch tomorrow. 1 till 4 tomorrow afternoon, Euro Game Day live from Germany with Jeff Stelling and Gabby Agbonlahor building up to England's game against Slovakia. And then you could join me, Stuart Pearce, Ashley Young is with us, and Jim Proudfoot inside the stadium in Gelsenkirchen for the build-up, the game, and the fallout as well. We're on till 8 p.m. from the stadium. Here in Dortmund, the storm has subsided. Germany 0, Denmark 0. Teams are out for the second half. Is this turning into a full-on, full-croak situation for the Germans? We shall see. Here's your commentary team for the second half on TalkSport. A former England striker, Darren Bent, alongside Ian Danter.
Yeah, Fulkrug waits. A goal every 35 minutes for his country. 4 in 6 major tournaments, but there are no changes from Julian Nagelsmann, nor indeed from Kasper Hjulmand at the turnaround. So it's the same 11s, and Denmark in red Churchill socks. They're going to head for the yellow wall, the south stand away to our left-hand side. We're almost halfway back, east stand. And to our right, the Danish fans that the German players, all in white, will be attacking towards in the North Tribune here at the Bevar Bay Stadium. Michael Oliver just getting some final instructions. Wants a word with Kasper Schmeichel and with Ilkay Gundogan, the 2 captains, about something or other. I can't pretend to know what, but Michael Oliver wants to chat with both of them before we get underway. As if to say, maybe, do you know what? It's going to be extra time. Don't muck about when it gets to extra time, otherwise we'll be here till midnight.
I did think that half-time was maybe a bit short, so maybe the TV companies are saying, we're not quite ready yet. We're not quite ready potentially because the players are out a lot earlier than they usually are. I thought that half-time was quite quick.
Well, I don't know whether he's checking the overhead conditions. Well, that's a 16-minute break. And I think Michael Oliver is a little concerned about the overhead conditions, but we will start the second half, I think, although Kasper Schmeichel's now milling around inside the centre circle. Maybe they've had some projections from the radar. Oh, the thumb's gone up from the television director, and they're happy to continue. Who says television runs football?
I don't know what Michael Oliver was looking at either, because he was looking up at the sky, and I'm looking up there, and I'm thinking, what can he see that I can't? Surely we can see the same things.
Well, anyway, we're going to get back underway, and Denmark will restart the second half. Germany, they have a fantastic record in knockout matches. Host nations have only lost 2 out of 14 kickoff ties. Both defeats have come in finals, when Portugal lost to Greece in 2004 and France in 2016 against Portugal, who went on to win it. So Germany have got the weight of history pretty much in their favour as they enter the knockout stage of this competition. Balls work back to Schmeichel. Eriksson in the Danish midfield nods it down for Højbjerg. He toe pokes it out of play. Quick run through the lineups. I'll give you in a moment, but Germany have a throw that Kimmich will throw back to Rudiger on halfway. Kimmich goes back to his keeper Neuer. In front of Neuer, Kimmich, Rudiger, Schlotterbeck, Raum, Andrik, Kroos, Musiala, Gundogan, Sane and Havertz. For Denmark, Schmeichel in goal, Anderson, Vestergaard, Christensen, Bar, Delaney, Højbjerg, Mæhle, Eriksson, Skov Olsen and Højlund. And Andrik just splitting the two German centre-halves for the moment. The defensive midfielder with his shock of peroxide blonde hair that he's just had done. Fires the ball into Leroy Sané, chests it down for Kimmich, and an early ball up to the edge of the area seeking Gundogan, but Denmark deal with it well enough. Højbjerg heads it towards halfway. Højlund fighting for possession. Was that a handball from Rudiger on halfway as Højbjerg tried to feed it through? It's gone out of play for a throw into Denmark anyway on this near side. It was hit straight at Rudiger, in fairness, Darren Bent.
And he's lucky because Højlund was in. I mean, it was a really good pass from Eriksson. He spotted the run, and yeah, it comes off his thigh. Really good defender from Rudiger. But we saw it just now. Gundogan make the run in behind, and Kimmich tried to put him in. I think Germany are going to have to do that a lot in the second half, because I think too much has been in front of this Danish back line, and they're making it easy, not really changing the picture at all. The moment you start running in behind and creating that space, then you can drop it and start picking up the pockets. But at the minute, it's a bit predictable in terms of their build-up play.
2 minutes gone in the second half. If you're just tuning into TalkSport, why on earth is it only 2 minutes into the second half? It should be nearly 25 minutes in. Well, we had an electrical storm in the first half here in Dortmund, and all the players were sent back by Michael Oliver to the dressing rooms, and the delay was, well, say around about 25 minutes or so. Denmark have a free kick, almost at the midway point of the German half, out to the left-hand side. Eriksson standing over it. Germany holding their line 20 yards out. It's really drilled to the far post by Eriksson. They managed to keep it alive. Right-hand corner of the box with Skov Olsen. Højbjerg, first time cross into the box, almost drops 6 yards out. It's driven in! Denmark lead.
Oh my fuck!
Runs away to the corner flag in front of those German fans.
1-0 Denmark.
In the penalty area. Germany couldn't clear their lines. And
I'm eating egg fried rice, dogs.
Swept it home to give Denmark the lead. 3 minutes into the second half here in Dortmund. Germany 0, Denmark 1.
Really good finish from Anderson there as well, because he kept his composure. He's in there. I mean, it's bouncing around, it's bobbling around. I mean, Højlund, he's in there, and I think Delaney gets dragged back, but doesn't he react well? Anderson, as it drops him on his weaker left foot, he just swivels. It comes from Delaney, it goes through Schlotterbeck's legs, and he just swivels, hits it, keeps it low, hits the target, and Neuer has got absolutely no chance. Again, it goes through, I think it's Andrik's legs as he swivels and hits it. It's a really, really good finish, instinctive finish.
But VAR is going to check for potential offside, and it might be against Anderson himself. And so David Coote and Stuart Atwell are going to be having a look at the footage and relaying it back to Michael Oliver out there in the middle, who's just beckoning players away from him whilst he listens to the conversations that are going on at the VAR hub.
There were certainly a few players offside from the first one. And then when the rebound came back in, I'm not sure if Anderson was offside, but it did look like a couple like Vestergaard.
I can't believe this. This is crazy.
As well, but I don't think Anderson was.
Well, the Danish technical staff are looking at replays themselves in their little dugout. Goal under review, and Michael Oliver has given the
Oh.
The goal is cancelled out.
Oh, it's offside.
Anderson was offside, it would appear, from that first ball into the box.
Well, that might just wake Germany up because they're certainly a little bit lethargic, not really causing them too many problems. That was a scare. I mean, I did think Anderson was offside, but we've seen it like once on the replay. Now Germany need to pick up. Denmark have scored, caused them a problem. Now they've got to get back to what they were doing in the first 15 minutes.
Back to 0-0. So both teams have had a goal chalked off. Now Sane, Musiala getting away down the left-hand side. Sane was waiting for the cross, but the pullback didn't find him. Round takes over, tries to loft it to the far post as Germany try and respond here. Havertz feeds it back to Andrik at the edge of the area. Left-footed ball drifts well wide, smacks into the advertising hoardings. Schmeichel knew it was going wide. It's a goal kick. 5 gone in the second half. Lively at the restart. 0-0 though.
Big chance there. Musiala on his weaker foot as well. He runs away from Anderson. Anderson can't keep up. He goes to square the ball. If he squares it, Leroy Sane taps it in the empty net.
Now they're checking for a potential penalty inside the box against Joaquin Anderson. And Michael Oliver is going to look at the referee review screen on this near touchline to look at a potential penalty. So from Germany almost going one down, but for an offside decision given by VAR. Now Stuart Atwell and David Coote have told Michael Oliver to come and look at the screen and see whether Joaquin Anderson, who thought he'd swept Denmark in front, has handballed in the area.
This might come from the cross from Musiala when he breaks forward, because he misses Sane. If he misses Sane, if he puts it in front of him, Sane puts it in the empty net.
VAR are being a bit slow getting to the right point. Cross comes in from the left from Round, and it just clips the fingertips. And they're using Snicko like they've used in cricket for years. It does flick the fingers of Joaquin Anderson. Does it deflect the path of the ball ever so slightly?
I mean, what's Anderson supposed to do from a yard away? Like, you can't get your hands out the way of that.
And Michael Oliver gives the penalty. And Joaquin Anderson must be dismayed, going from hero to zero in a matter of moments. Thought he'd given Denmark the lead, but Round's cross flicked off his thumb, really.
I don't know what he's supposed to do, Dan. I really don't. I mean, the cross comes in. He's not trying to make himself bigger. His arm's there naturally, because when you're running in that type of position, your arm goes there naturally. And to give it a penalty for that, I mean, he's a yard away. For me, Michael Oliver, he's had a bit of a nightmare tonight. First of all, the first one from Schlotterbeck, the header, and now giving a penalty for that. For me, poor decision.
So it means Kai Havertz, on the occasion of his 50th cap for his country, will take the responsibility from the penalty spot against Kasper Schmeichel.
Oh.
He just takes the
Oh,
ball,
no.
places it on the spot. He's standing right next to it. Schmeichel now backs off to his goal line, and only now Havertz takes 3 or 4 paces back from the ball. Going to be a left-footed effort away to our right in front of the Danish fans who are trying to put him off. Havertz from the spot to give the hosts the lead. Runs up to it, a delay. Left-footed shot, finds the bottom corner. Kasper Schmeichel gets the right way, but couldn't get to it. Havertz wheels away in celebration, and Danish fans in that corner are throwing plastic glasses at the German players as they celebrate. It won't affect the fact that the Germans have taken the lead. Havertz from the spot, call as you like. Germany 1, Denmark 0.
Really good penalty, because the starter didn't work. Kasper Schmeichel, fair play to him. He doesn't go for it. He doesn't move at all. And it's a really, really good penalty. It clips the inside of the post. But Kasper Schmeichel has done everything right. Because usually when Kai Havertz does that started run up, a goalkeeper leans one way or the other. He just doesn't move whatsoever. So then it comes down to Kai Havertz. Can he beat the goalkeeper? And he rolls it with the right amount of pace, and it goes into that bottom corner. Really, really good penalty from Kai Havertz.
VAR saying handball offence. Denmark's player number 2, Anderson, touched the ball with his right arm, which was in an unnatural position, out of the body, as it says. And they're just now sending stewards out, or UEFA helpers, to clear the dozen or so plastic glasses that are still in that corner flag where Havertz went away to celebrate. Meantime, we're back underway. And that Anderson goal, apparently it was Thomas Delaney who was offside in that build-up. Incredibly tight call, but offside he was.
I really hate those decisions, in terms of the handball there. And the word I can't stand more than anything is unnatural. Because for a defender in that type of situation, his arm is exactly where he needs it to be to defend that situation. You're now asking defenders to defend in an unnatural position, which is the arms behind their back. Awful decision.
1-0 to Germany, and we played nearly 10 minutes of the second half in Dortmund. And that settled down the home fans, and a few of those German flags flying away to our left-hand side at the yellow wall end. Kimmich to the throw, bang on halfway. German fans getting to their feet around us now to cheer their team on. Havertz tries to get a flick on, but Denmark have it back. Mæhle, good ball in field to Delaney, just shy of the halfway line. Looks to play it over the top, trying to get Højlund in behind Schlotterbeck. Germany deal with it well. Rudiger calmly guides it back to Manuel Neuer.
Denmark's got to keep their composure. I know they're feeling a little bit hard done by with their goal getting chalked off and then the handball, but they've got to keep their composure because they've shown if they can get 1 or 2 passes in that Germany half and then they get in behind, they can cause them problems.
So he's got Joachim Andersen for a short throw. Bar goes long though, to the edge of the area. Attempted flick on by Højlund, comes out to the right-hand side. Oh, there's a clash of heads on that right-hand side between Bart and Andrik. Andrik's gone down, clutching his head. Yellow card has been administered, I think for dissent, not for the challenge. And Andrich is face down in the turf, just outside his own penalty area. Germany lead by a goal to nil.
Really brave there from Andrich because he knows he was about to get a bit of a wallop from Bar there as well, and he gets his head in there and he wins the foul. I'm not quite sure how hurt he is. I mean, he's down, he's rolling around. The medical staff have come on the pitch, but again, he's been brave there. He's earned himself a team of foul.
Oh, certainly they clashed heads there. We're just seeing a slow-mo replay. Never nice to see those.
Maybe I was wrong.
Bar's been yellow carded for that challenge. And the physios are attending to Andrich at the moment, Robert Andrich, who is on a yellow card himself going into this match. But it's 1-0 to Germany. You can hear the noise around us at the Weber Stadium. German fans loving the fact that their team are in front. They're falling in love with this Germany team more and more. You have to remember just how bad things had got for Germany in the past couple of years before Julian Nagelsmann took over, Darren Bent. It was a rotten state of affairs that he took over.
He did, but when I think about Germany, Dad, they're a powerful nation, aren't they? I mean, they've won 3 European Championships, 4 World Cups. I can understand that they kind of the disappointment from the German fans because they're so used to seeing their sides throughout history of football, winning all the big tournaments or getting deep into tournaments. The last couple just haven't been good enough. But it works in cycles. Again, maybe this might be their time again.
You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. Ian Dancer and Darren Bent with you. 57 minutes gone in Dortmund. Germany 1, Denmark 0. Kai Havertz penalty early in this second period after VAR ruled that Joachim Andersen had handled a David Raum cross. Denmark have a free kick just inside their own half. Højbjerg, who I'm assuming will not be a Spurs player come the start next season. Lots of talk about him moving on from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And Skov Olsen runs into a blind alley, can't pick up the ball. Oh, lovely skill, Havertz takes it away from a defender into the area. Surely number 2, he's put it wide. What a chance for Kai Havertz after sensational skill. Got him away, 10 yards inside the Danish half, away and clear. Tried to chip it over Schmeichel, and he put it the wrong side of the post. And now the German bench and the manager, Julian Nagelsmann, are complaining too much about a foul off the ball on Leroy Sané that they think occurred, and it's going to be a yellow card administered maybe to Nagelsmann himself. But was Sané fouled off the ball as Havertz was running through?
He was. I think he was tripped. But that bit of skill on the half-white line from Kai Havertz was special. Special. They rolled it in behind him. He somehow manages to bring the ball from behind his feet between 2 centre-halves. But again, he probably rolls it to Sané. I think that's probably why he missed. He should score. He should hit the target. But I think he's so adamant that I'm going to square it to Sané, 2-0 game over, that when Sané goes over, it distracts him just a little bit, just a fraction, for the fact that he got the technique wrong and the little dink over the goalkeeper. But opportunity gone. But Kai Havertz's skill, incredible.
So close to one of the most sensational goals you would ever see at a European Championships. But in the end, it stays 1-0. And now a yellow card is given to Mæhle, the left wing back, for a challenge just over the halfway line. And I think Denmark are starting to get frustrated and getting wound up now, Darren Bent.
Michael Oliver's not helping. At the minute, he needs to get a grip back on this game because one or two decisions again, he's not getting them right. And I think he's frustrating on both counts, Germans and the Danish players.
Thomas Delaney, we're just seeing from the VAR snapshot of the semi-automated offside, he was a little toe offside. Fine margins, you would say.
Very fine.
Free kick for Germany. Kroos sends it into the area, far left-hand side. Good defensive header from Barr. Rudiger lets the ball run out of play on the far side for a throw-in right by the corner flag.
Oh, I was still thinking about that skill from Kai Havertz. I was willing, listen, I'm not a German fan, I'm English, but I was willing that to go in. I was desperate for it to go because that touch on the halfway line and then the acceleration to get away from the two centre halves was exquisite.
But couldn't get the shot on target. Germany still have just a 1-goal lead here in Dortmund with an hour gone on Talk Sport. Ian Danter and Darren Bent with you. Leroy Sané, one of the players brought into the side tonight by Julian Nagelsmann. Rolls it back to Kimmich. Kimmich will give it back to Nico Schlotterbeck. He's looked neat and tidy. And a short pass almost sold Kimmich short from Schlotterbeck. Germany keep possession though. Sané with a poor touch in field. One back by Denmark. Eriksson protects the ball well. And he gets it back, having played a neat 1-2 with Mæhle. Then he tries to fire the ball out to the right-hand side for Skov Olsen. That's a comfortable header away by Raum. It's all a bit scrappy at the moment, but Denmark try and bring it through for Højbjerg, but Musiala just slides in with a no-nonsense challenge. And the roar you just heard around us as he put that out for a throw. 1-0 Germany.
Yeah, Denmark need to just get their composure back. They've lost it a little bit. They're getting themselves booked. They're getting really irate. They're screaming at the referee. Just get back to what you were doing. I mean, I don't think this game's out of sight because they can still cause Germany problems. They've been doing it this whole game.
Confirmation that it was Nagelsmann's book, by the way, when Michael Oliver came over to this near touchline. Balls into the feet of Rasmus Højlund. That's a decent turn from him. Ball breaks for Delaney. Sweeps it out to the right wing. Skov Olsen running into the German penalty area. Across comes Schlotterbeck with a brilliant challenge to put it out of play for a Denmark throw. 1-0 Germany.
Yeah, good defender from Schlotterbeck there. Just helping out David Raum. He's left back next to him. We've got past him as well. Skov Olsen. But there was Schlotterbeck prepared to make the challenge.
Anderson finds Eriksson at the edge of the area. Back to goal. Being pressurised by Andrik, who takes the ball off him. Finds Havertz inside his own half. Neat 1- and 2-touch football from Germany. Musiala brings the ball up to the halfway line, but that has to track back into his own half. Great skill from Musiala, but he runs into one too many challenges, and Højbjerg brings it away. Delaney gives it back to first Barr and then Anderson. Now Anderson gives it back to Vestergaard on halfway. Ball along the deck for Rasmus Højlund. Runs away from a couple of challenges. Højbjerg has got Mæhle calling for it out this near touchline. Oh, he's put too much on that pass. Pierre-Emil Højbjerg, and he apologises to Mæhle. It's gone straight out of play for a throw, and Germany have got a double change coming. Meanwhile, Havertz is away, and the flag stays down. He goes into the area, angles tight right-hand side. Pirouette, he can lay it back to Sané. Sané drives it wide, and now the offside flag goes up.
And now it goes.
That's two efforts that Germany have had a goal that they've dragged either side of the post in the past 4 minutes. Here comes the double change. And first player coming off is the captain, Ilkay Gundogan. And that's to allow Nicholas Füllkrug to enter the play. There are two Dortmund players coming on here. Not only is Füllkrug coming on, but also Emre Can, once of Liverpool, is coming on. And I think Andrik is the other player that's making way. So clearly what's going to happen is Darren Bent Havertz is going to drop into the Gundogan role to allow Füllkrug to play up top.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And now they've got a real focal point. I spoke about it before. They can be a bit more direct and win his headers. They hold it up. And I think Kai Havertz has done really well. He's looked really sharp. Obviously had the opportunity when he went through. I'm really interested to see the dynamic between the two. Because Kai Havertz, I always feel like he's really unselfish. At times he should probably shoot, but he passes it. Now with these two playing up top, it'll be a nice dynamic.
So two Borussia Dortmund players on their home turf now in Emre Can and Nicholas Füllkrug, the goal machine. 4 goals in 6 major tournament appearances. He's found the net a couple of times at these European Championships. Remember, Mikotadze of Georgia, still the top scorer at the moment. We'll see him, Darren and I, tomorrow night in action as Georgia take on Spain in Cologne. That's live on TalkSport 2. 8 o'clock kickoff in Cologne. 1-0 here to Germany on TalkSport with 25 minutes to go. Fulkrug, first touch is heavy and allows Delaney to fire it back to his goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel. Now it's brought out of defence by Højbjerg. Lays it off to Andreas Christensen, once of Chelsea, won the Champions League with Chelsea. Held up by Havertz, so he plays it right to Joachim Andersen. Great run through the middle by Delaney, but the ball's gone out to the left-hand side instead, and Mailer brings it down well. Midway point of the German half, tight to this near touchline. Mailer then drifts in field. Eriksson just calmly rolls it back to Christensen once again, just ahead of the halfway line. Good through ball for Mailer. Eriksson picks it up at now left-hand side. Rolls it infield for Højbjerg. Højbjerg up to the edge of the area. Højlund takes a touch, drives it straight, and Manuel Neuer, who beats it out, and then Kimmich nods it back to him. Big chance for Denmark to equalise, 1-0.
Huge chance. He's got to score. He's got to score. In that situation there, he has to score. He does everything right. He lets it go across his body because he knows that Kimmich can't touch him, but he's got to go across goalkeeper. He doesn't do anything. Just smashes it as hard as he can straight at Neuer, and it's a really comfortable save. Poor finish from Højlund there. On his left foot, his favoured foot, you've got to go across goalkeeper.
It was straight at Manuel Neuer, but he still had to beat it away from danger. There was nobody following up in Danish red. Kimmich tidied things up. Ball's bobbling around in the centre circle. Havertz trying to find Sane. Germany lose out and Denmark have it again. Approaching the midway point of the second half. Damsgaard going to be on shortly for Denmark, it would appear. Or is it Norgard, Christian Norgard, who is on the yellow card coming into this tournament. Meantime, Fulkrug breaks away down the left-hand side for Germany. Germany 1-0 up. Kroos will go back in field to Leroy Sané, and it's floated out to Kimmich on this near side, the inside right. Plays it in field for Emre Can, his first touch. Finds Kroos again, centre of the Danish half. Good foot in from Christensen to get it half clear, but it's back with Germany once again down their right-hand side, and Josh Kimmich. Kimmich rolls it back for Can. Can has to go back to Rudiger. As Denmark try and funnel everybody back behind the ball. Kimmich comes in field from this right-hand touchline. Gives it back to Kroos just at the edge of the centre circle. Schlotterbeck leaves it once again for Toni Kroos, who will retire at the end of these championships. Can. Very, very patient from Germany at this point. Playing the ball around the halfway line, basically, and Denmark are slowly pushing up. Not only is Christian Norgard coming on, but Yusuf Poulsen's also going to be on in a moment for Denmark. For a change in midfield and up front. Musiala is giving chase, and Kasper Schmeichel stayed at home and he started to come out. Musiala makes it 2-0. What was Kasper Schmeichel doing? Thought he was coming to clear his lines. Musiala almost stopped himself, realised that Schmeichel was staying at home, ran onto it, left-hand side of the area, and slotted it coolly past Schmeichel to surely put the hosts into the quarterfinals. Midway through the second half, Musiala gets a goal he deserves for his effort on the night. Germany 2, Denmark 0.
It's that German left-hand side that's causing all the problems again. We saw it earlier when Kai Havertz went through and he went to square it and Sané was taken over. But it's like a hopeful punt from Nico Schlotterbeck. And as he goes through, Anderson can't run with Jamal Musiala, and he can casually rolls it into that far corner. I mean, it's a really good run. Kasper Schmeichel probably should come and deal with it. Realizes that he probably can't get there, but when he gets in there, Jamal Musiala, he goes ice cold, and he just waits for Kasper Schmeichel to go down a little bit, and he just lifts it over his foot into that far corner with the inside of his foot. Really, really tidy finish. 2-0 Germany.
And 3 goals for Jamal Musiala, so he joins the Georgius Mikotadze on 3 for the tournament in the race for the Golden Boot. Double change then for Denmark. Delaney and Skov Olsen have gone off, and in their place have come Yusuf Poulsen and also Christian Norgard of Brentford. Poulsen plays his club football in Germany with Leipzig. That's a huge mountain for Denmark to climb now. Højbjerg plays the ball out to Bar on the right-hand side. Bar holds play up under pressure from Raum. Works it in field to Norgard, his first involvement since coming on. Quick pass into his former teammate for Brentford, Eriksson. But Germany snuff out the danger. Full crew, little back heel for Kroos. And he'll just lay it off for Raum, and Germany will tidy things up. So both coaches booked in this match. But Germany holding sway. And now the noise is really starting to lift, and these German supporters believing more and more with every 90 minutes that passes that these players of theirs are good enough to win a 4th European Championship.
And that's exactly what I was saying to you, Dan. In terms,
as Full Crew tries to burst beyond Anderson, just couldn't get to the bouncing ball, and Schmeichel grabbed hold of it and clears it downfield. You were saying, Dan.
And that's what I was saying about you have to be a little bit unpredictable. By turning this Danish backline, when everything was in front of them, they were fine. Anderson was coming onto it, Vestergaard was coming onto it, Christensen. The moment you start turning it in behind, we quite clearly saw Anderson, the pace is not his strong point. Jamal Musiala was, I think, 5 yards behind him. By the time he spun and got after him, he passed him relatively quickly.
Eriksson into the area for Højlund, but out comes Neuer to around 8 yards out and smothers the ball brilliantly for Germany, and the danger passes for the hosts once again. 2-0 they lead, and there's 20 minutes to go on TalkSport.
If I'm Germany, every single time, like in this situation with David Raum, if I'm Jamal Musiala, I'm not even going short anymore. I'm just spinning in behind Anderson, because he's shown already down that side twice in the last 10 minutes that whoever runs in that channel, he can't live with you.
And Schmeichel staying at home, then moving out and staying at home again, just encouraged Musiala to come forward.
You know, if Musiala hadn't scored, there were 2 players. Leroy Sané had busted got to get up there again. He would have squared it and they would have tapped it in, but really good post finish. A lot of people made him favourites for the Golden Boot. I'm starting to agree.
Germany will have a free kick just from halfway. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now. Ian Danter and Darren Bent with you. Sports Bar with Adam Cattrall and Jermaine Pennant will be slightly delayed after the shenanigans here with the electrical storm that delayed matters, but they will get on air not long after full time here to take your calls on the day's action. Now Havertz for Germany, peeling away down the right-hand side, gets to the dead ball line, faced up by Mailer, just rolls it gently back in field to Chan. Chan will leave it for Kimmich. Kimmich finds Kroos into the feet of Musiala. Now Havertz again, right-hand side, approaching the right-hand corner of the penalty area. Flicks it back in field via Kimmich to Chan. Chan just drops his shoulder to get away from Eriksson. Feeds it down the right wing for Leroy Sané. Checking back onto his favoured left foot. Lays it off to Kimmich. Kimmich at the right-hand corner of the box looks for Kroos. Kroos sets up for a shot and then rolls it down the right-hand side of the area for Havertz, who's offside. That's a free kick to Denmark. But Denmark have got an awful lot to do here. 2-0 down and 18 minutes to go in Dortmund on TalkSport.
Tony Kroos has got every right to have a go at Kai Havertz there, because the pass from Tony Kroos, I didn't even see that it was on. He faked like he was going to shoot, dropped his shoulder and just rolled it with the outside of his boot down the channel, and Kai Havertz was hanging offside, and then the flag goes up. So I can understand his disappointment. But we saw in that last play, they don't have to come short anymore. They've quite clearly shown how to break down this Danish backline. You keep putting the ball over the top of quality, you'll keep getting in every single time.
Sané picks the loose ball up on halfway, and now Kroos is making a run through the centre. Sané goes again down the right wing for Germany, holds the ball up at the dead ball line. Kimmich there, wanting it rolled back to him, gets it now. Kimmich plays it back into the centre of the half for Emre Can. Kimmich again. They're toying with Denmark at the moment, Germany. Here's Raum out to Musiala, tormentor in chief, out on the left-hand side. Infield it goes to Emre Can. Thought about driving towards the penalty area, but leaves it instead for Musiala. Now Tony Kroos spots the run of Musiala. Brilliant run down the left-hand side of the box. Tries to nutmeg Anderson, but Anderson actually wasn't going to buy that and intercepted and got the ball clear. Poulsen up to halfway, trying to feed Højlund with a run down the right, but a brilliant challenge from Schlotterbeck. Puts it out of play for a throw. He's been excellent coming in for Jonathan Tah tonight.
He's done really, really well. No mistakes. Had a goal chalked up as well. Put his body on the line. Really helped out David Raum on that left-hand side as well by covering him, putting in challenges. And he's looked really effective with the ball as well. I mean, he was the one who set Musiala away for that second goal, where he just put it into an area and said, go on, get after that. And Musiala did the rest.
Poulsen giving chase down the right-hand side of the box. Bit of a slip from Schlotterbeck, and he's given away a corner. As soon as we say that, how well he's been playing, puts a bit of a rick in. Incidentally, looks like Benjamin Heinrichs might be coming on. I just saw him get the nod from the German coaches, the Leipzig defender. He might be on sooner rather than later. But Denmark have a corner. Just over a quarter of an hour to go on Talk Sport. Germany 2-0 up. Corner for Eriksson. In front of the German fans in that giant yellow wall stand away to our left. Right-footed delivery into the near post. Headed away by Havertz. Højbjerg guides it down with his head back to Eriksson on that right-hand side. Højlund again. Drills the ball into the box. Up go the heads. And it took a touch off a German defender last of all. Another corner, but this time on this near side, the Denmark left. Just stops and prevents the corner being taken just yet. And Jonas Vind also going to be on triple change, I think, because also coming on Jakob Brun Larsen, the surprise caller into the Danish squad after his season at Burnley. So a triple change for Denmark coming up in a moment. But Eriksson has this corner meantime. In it comes from Eriksson, right foot near post. Headed away by a German head, awkwardly goes behind for another corner. They didn't really know much about that delivery from Eriksson there. 2-0 to Germany, though.
So Anderson should get his head on it. Anderson, he does get his head on it. He flicks it to a really good area, and it's good defending. It takes a slight block, a slight nick off one of the German defenders, but Anderson gets across the front and gets the first touch on it.
Henriksen Weerts waiting to come on for Germany, as well as this triple change for Denmark. But here's Eriksson's latest corner, headed out this time by Havertz. Really strong header. Højbjerg, though, will pick up the loose ball and roll it back to Schmeichel, who stood at the midway point of his own half. Passes out to Barr, just shy of the halfway line. 13 and a half minutes to go on Talk Sport. Denmark need 2 goals just to force extra time here against the host Germany. Here's Pierre-Emil Højbjerg. Kasper Hjulmand just giving some last second instructions to those 3 substitutes before they enter the fray. Balls with Mæhle. Just inside his own half, finds Joachim Andersen, who clips it down the inside right channel. Højlund looks to roll the defender. Good clearance from Schlotterbeck, but it comes out to Mæhle at the edge of the area. Opens up for him just for a moment, but he runs into Rudiger, who cleared it away brilliantly. He got flattered into by Mæhle, wins a free kick, and Darren Bent's laughing his head off. 2-0 Germany.
Antonio Rudiger, I mean, listen, I love him as a defender, but look, he clears the ball, and it's not, I mean, he's trying to take someone's head off with the clearance. I mean, he studs her up next to, I think it's Melié's head. And he does well, he draws the foul, but he's a great defender, Antonio Rudiger. Again today.
It was almost like ballet from Rudiger there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, him and Schlotterbeck at centre-half have done really well. I think Jonathan Tah's done well, certainly up until this point, but Schlotterbeck's done himself a massive, massive favour in terms of this performance.
So it will be a free kick to Germany, but I'm not sure whether Denmark want to make these changes just now. Mæhle's just coming back onto the field of play. And no, we still wait for the changes to be made. That's rather bizarre. Break in play with a throw, but nothing doing. Germany 2, Denmark 0. 12 minutes to go on Talk Sport here in Dortmund. Me and Darren are off to Cologne tomorrow to bring you Spain against Georgia on Talk Sport 2. That's the 8 o'clock kickoff. After, of course, England play Slovakia. Build up across the day. And Adrian's going to be hosting for you in Gelsenkirchen from 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Josh Kimmich has just gone for goal from just inside his own half. Smacked it right-footed, but Schmeichel was more than ready to deal with that.
I think he tried to clear it. I think if that was a shot, then wow, but I think he just tried to clear it.
Yes, I don't think it was a genuine attempt on goal. Here is Yannick Vestergaard finding Christensen just to his left. Mæhle now has it. Not giving up quite yet, Denmark. 11 minutes to go. Mæhle down the left-hand side, midway point of the German half. Højlund rolls the challenge of Kroos, but then just runs into trouble. Germany bring the ball clear, but Musiala is set upon by the challenge of Norgard. And now here's Højbjerg. Fires it out to the left-hand side for the second time in a matter of minutes. Højbjerg has overhit a pass intended for Mæhle. Too much club on it, and it's out of play for a throw. for Germany. Heinrichs is going to come on for Raum in the left back position. Raum, who's played in the place of Mittelstedt tonight, who's carrying a yellow card. And Raum's been nice and solid for Germany tonight, Darren Bent, I think.
Yeah, he has. He's done really well. I think him and Schlotterbeck on that far side, that left-hand side for Germany, have really complemented each other well. I mean, when Raum has been beat by the wire player from Denmark, yeah, Schlotterbeck, that's been there as well. Do you know what I mean? Every single time they've gone past him, he's been there and he's done really well.
And the roar you can hear is because Jamal Musiala's been substituted. Joint top scorer at Euro 2024 now, Jamal